You might not believe me when I say this, but this is Fortnite. That's right, Epic's Battle Royale with 3,000 Marvel skins and kids flossing all over the place. Epic recently added a new tool to the game's public editor that enables first-person mode, and well, this is the result. Let's check it out. So, if you're not caught up on what's going on with Fortnite, last year Epic unveiled the Unreal Editor for Fortnite. It's essentially unlocking the Unreal Engine tools and letting players treat it kind of like Roblox Studio, turning Fortnite into whatever experience they want. Players can then join these custom crafted experiences through the tabs in Fortnite's main menu or with their search tool that breaks down all the available experiences. Now, when these tools first launched, there was a handful of cool things to check out, and the highlight was probably the official modes that Epic had created just to kind of demo what was possible. There was stuff like kind of a Call of Duty third-person clone and things of that nature. But unfortunately, the launch version of the tools were missing a major feature, a proper first-person mode. But recently, the editor has been updated with first-person tools, which has allowed modders to kick off a gold rush to see who can create the best version of Nuketown in a body cam game for some reason. And to the credit of these modders, some of the maps are very impressive. The body cam maps in particular, which I assumed are made predominantly from photo-scanned assets available in the Unreal Marketplace, just look insane. It's almost unfortunate that they're covering up so many of the visuals with this body cam fisheye aesthetic because the maps are just really impressive. Now, when UEFN first launched, I covered the cooler experiences that were on offer. And the thing that they all had in common was that they still more or less felt like Fortnite. Comparing this to the first time I experienced Frontlines running on Roblox, it was very different. I couldn't believe that somebody actually made something that felt like a full-on Call of Duty game inside the Roblox engine. And when it comes to Fortnite's first-person mode, well, it is definitely on the jankier side, at least for now. Character models have all sorts of clipping issues when you move the camera, aim, or sprint. The high-quality photo scan map assets have all kinds of jank associated with them, really well-lit exteriors, super dark interiors that kind of show that maybe the devs didn't have quite as much control over these assets as they wanted to. But just the shift in perspective from third to first person does so much to differentiate just how the whole experience feels compared to the typical third person Fortnite mod. And I can only imagine that this is all going to get significantly better as this is simply the first iteration of those tools, and the modding community seems to be working at a breakneck pace. To be honest, I was concerned that Epic didn't even want to let UEFN creators have too much control. Like, the earliest FPS mod that I found was a Doom multiplayer clone, and when I say Doom, I mean like the 1993 Doom. Basically static weapon models and floating movement. It was certainly cool that they got Doom running in Fortnite, which is funny, but it was very clunky and it made me concerned that maybe the actual tools for pushing the engine further along on the FPS side was going to be significantly more difficult. But now that the first wave of FPS tools are in the editor, the experiences creators are making feel distinct from that core Fortnite experience, and they could easily be mistaken for an entirely different game now, and I think that is ultimately the goal. I even found that competitive FPS itch while playing the game. I've probably sunk dozens of hours into Nuketown playing all the different CODs over the years, and settling into my camping spots and looking down to those familiar angles, it just kind of felt like I was back in the Call of Duty experience, but in Fortnite, which was just such a surreal experience to have. But it shows me that Epic are actually serious about carrying these tools as far as they'll go. Now, comparing Fortnite's body cam style experiences to, say, the body cam game on Steam was a bit interesting. Visually, they're both going for more or less the same thing, but mechanically they play very different since Fortnite's aim and movement are very responsive and snappy. I found being able to actually peek angles and snap to targets quickly in Fortnite made the experience a lot more responsive and clean feeling compared to how Bodycam was handling it. And obviously Bodycam is going for that slightly more sluggish feeling experience, but I think I enjoyed how Fortnite approached it more. One of the maps that stood out to me a lot was the one set on a kind of rundown residential street. It gave me a really strong Last of Us vibe with the decaying buildings, graffiti, and the overgrown foliage everywhere. Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be too many people playing it, but I thought the visuals were honestly some of the best. Now, of course, creating a massive mod library available to anyone and everyone, some of the experiences just aren't going to be great. Some of the body cam experiences were pretty playable and enjoyable, while others were just taking things way too far with excessive weather effects, the fisheye lens distortion that got insane and actually made me a little motion sick. It's funny sorting through all of it, but I think that's one of the things that will come with time. Once the mods have been rated and more categorized, it will be easier to find the better mods versus some of the crazy ones. Now, I'll admit, while I was just exploring the massive quantity of new Fortnite experiences, I did find that there were some pretty decent Call of Duty zombie style experiences that had just about everything you could want. Tons of guns, upgrades, perks, and of course, zombies. It plays more like a traditional version of COD Zombies with boarding up windows, upgrading your weapons, and training zombies all around the map as they chase you down. That said, the map itself didn't run particularly great, and I think all these Fortnite experience modders are going to have to understand how to optimize their Unreal Engine 5 experiences, otherwise it's just going to be unplayable for most people. And I was actually surprised to see a lot of the mods suggesting that you run all the visuals on very high and turn on ray tracing so that it looks good, but also is going to run horribly slow. So there's a lot of optimization room left for this. It doesn't quite have that Roblox benefit where most of the visuals are already capped at such a low level that it's going to be hard to exceed the performance requirements. Unreal Engine 5 can easily get super expensive if you don't know what you're doing, and there's a lot of mods out there that don't. Nonetheless, it was fun to just peruse all these experiences and be able to play them pretty much instantly. One I joined was labeled as a survival experience, but it was basically a free-for-all with zombies and rideable wolves. Go figure. Anyway, the first person tools sucked me back into the Unreal Engine Fortnite experiences, and then I just found myself down a rabbit hole checking out what has been added to and evolved since these tools were first launched. This is without question becoming a huge aspect of Fortnite and Epic's revenue source, and I'm very curious to see where it goes and what it becomes, considering that Roblox has turned into this massive juggernaut so many years later. I'd be curious to know if there's any Unreal Engine Fortnite experiences that have caught your eye, if you've played, what you think this platform could eventually become. I'm going to continue to follow it and cover it as interesting additions are made. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe for more content like it, and ding that notification bell to beat the YouTube algorithm with me. Up next, check out this Frontline game that was made in Roblox and looks like Call of Duty. It's really an insane mod, and maybe it'll give you an idea of what maybe we're heading for with the Unreal Engine Fortnite stuff. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.